We are doing intros, in fact.
Okay, okay, it's been a while. You have to how do I bring up the thing where I can follow you again as a complete amateur?
Control Shift O.
Okay, I knew it was Control Shift, but I couldn't remember the last one, and I was like, what if I, lag the game out for a second? They're gonna be like, drop Olim. I'm gonna be sweating over here.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm ready. You want me to do this first?
Do it. Go ahead.
In the top right, a man who's young, very young, 19 in fact. Just looked it up. The young gunner, BattleB. Imagine being 19, Beowulf. Oh my. Oh my.
Never happened to me in the bottom left. He is from Utrecht, SKillous.
My man. I like both their names. Sometimes I think to myself, do I like the name M. Canning? I could have gone different ways with it, kind of. But then, BattleB, that's a nice name. SKillous. There's something clean about saying the word SKillous. So.
Until you run into the problem where someone says SKillous really quickly, and then it sounds like skillless. And it's like, no, the guy's really good. He's not skillless.
You're right about SKillous's trajectory. There was a period of time where he was like getting close to being arguably the best pro. I mean, it's hard to really truly pass Max Packs and Showtime, but he was right there with him. And I mean, I would say he's still, basically at that level. So,
yeah. Number 3 Protoss in Europe?
Yes. I wouldn't mind being the number 3 Protoss in Europe. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it means you get to go live in the Alienware training facility in Utrecht. I hear it's a nice place.
I hear it's a beautiful place. I'm a little bit jealous. I mean, okay, because he's there for tough reasons, so I shouldn't say it like that, but it's a beautiful facility. I have a few friends that have been there, and it sounds amazing. It sounds absolutely amazing. SKillous seems like maybe, I don't know if they've played on ladder a few times, but he seems, I guess because the full wall, he's a little bit... Scouting probably for proxy 4 racks, if I had to guess. Just making sure nothing... I guess there's a Reaper out, so it wouldn't be proxy 4 racks. And he gets the Reaper! A beautiful start for SKillous.
You talk about that proxy 4 rack setup. I mean, remember, M. Canning, I know you're sitting here, and you have been forged in the fires of North America, of salt, of Natrium itself, but this is Europe. Those shenanigans, yes. I don't think we see that nearly as often as like the dregs of the North American ladder.
You don't see it much in general, but when it's double supply depot wall, like the only thing you're really afraid of, because you're not really going to be proxying a factory super fast. So I feel like at least when I'm scouting like that and I see the double wall, I'm always worried. But when you see that Reaper, okay, he's got gas, he's not 4 racks, and killing that Reaper, being able to bring the Adept across the map already, this is a beautiful situation for SKillous. And going Phoenix into a Widowmine drop, I mean, that's a Dream opener if I'm SKillous.
No, it's a SKillous opener. Dream is a Korean Terran player.
I love Dream, actually. He's always one of my favorite Koreans.
He played a 6 series against Clem in WTL yesterday. It was a lot of fun. But yes, no. Now, you talk about no 4 racks here. I guess it is interesting, though. If you're worried about these early Marine openers, as Widowmine goes off, the Phoenix almost dies. One more Marine shot kills it. Is it a bit interesting now to go into Phoenix play if you are worried about, say, yes, there's no 4 racks anymore, but 3 racks stim is still very much, I mean, not now, of course, you saw the Widowmines, but that was still very much on the table around the time he started this Phoenix play. I
wouldn't be as worried about it on a full supply depot wall double gas Reaper opener. I don't think he'd be too concerned about it. Usually 3 racks you'd see insta reactor on the barracks into 2 Marines, and I think with the full wall you just don't see it that often. But it is one of the reasons that scares me away from Phoenix. Now, he's going Phoenix into Colossus, which I think is very, very strong right now. And I loved him sending the first Phoenix across the map, getting that scouting, and he sees exactly what's coming. Otherwise, that drop could have been tough with the Marines, the Widowmines. It could have been tough, but now he sees it. He sees what's here at home. A nice little scout. He's got to be a little bit careful. And now it's going to get the med back going in the bottom of the map. It's go time.
I mean, SKillous does have the scout there. The pylons see everything, but the question really, as always, is he on top of things? The Depths move on to the low ground. He's got the pull. Maybe there's a spot, but no. Okay, the unburr, the reburr there. BattleB being as annoying as possible, but he's targeting. There we go. We're fine. We can say he's targeting 2 on the same pro, but we're going to be fine here. And the Phoenix get the lift. But Medevac is just going to try to run away. But, well, Phoenix, they're speedy boys, them Canning. They should be able to chase this down.
Oh, yeah. I like how he played that a lot. Now, I like how BattleB's playing it. He's used the Widowmine drop to help him get on the map. SKillous getting really unlucky with this medvac right now. He will find it, of course. But by the time this medvac goes down, the attack is going to be on the doorstep. Now, SKillous has played smart. He's gotten Immortal out. He's going to need these Phoenixes at home. And it's going to be a pretty strong and scary attack. Now, of course, there's no stim, just a lot of Marines and Vikings, a couple of Cyclones, and we're going to have a big engagement here that's going to decide a lot.
The Phoenix, their primary target on the lift will be those Cyclones. That's what really causes the problems, but for now, Marines, they get lifted up here. Everything's going down. The flank of Marines on the north side is going to try to do what it can, and we see the Marauders. That Hardened Shield has been popped, so it's not nearly as tanky as it might like to be. We talked about SKillous being in a good spot. This is actually working out really well for BattleB here.
Yeah, BattleB finding some really nice damage. Bring the Liberator to the front. I think maybe he wanted to bring it to the natural. But these Cyclones are really low, but look at the control from BattleB, getting that one more Phoenix that is very low. Now he is lifting up his skills, and he will kill one more Cyclone. With BattleB's found terrific damage here so far. And I think SKillous thought that was going to go a little bit better for him. I think he thought he was going to clean it up a little bit faster. And BattleB getting quite a nice trade, resetting the Phoenix count down quite low. Now we got the Liberator going into the main, it looks like. And a pretty big win.
Oh, really? I mean, it is army for army at the end of the day, Canning, and with SKillous having his third base on the way, that does put him in a still, decent enough economic position. There's already a third CC done. It's 630. Normally, especially when you have these aggressive builds, you don't have that third command center done. You don't have it. You maybe have it on the way. So BattleB, we talked about, okay, well, you know what? SKillous kept his third base alive. It was just army for army, but I mean, BattleB's economy, it's going to be very nice rather soon, and with stim on the way plus war combat shields on the way. Is there a timing now that SKillous can do and try to take advantage of this greed behind the aggression?
I think it's definitely possible. I mean, they traded out quite a bit. Now, the issue is when you go for a push like SKillous, or like BattleB did, is as you see stim and combat shield very late, as the Phoenixes are poking away, nothing's really going to happen here. I'd love to see BattleB spot this Observer on top of his base. That'd be big for him to get rid of that vision that SKillous has right now on everything. But whenever you go for a big push like that with the Cyclones, with the Reactored Marines, your stim is going to be super, super late. But we're going to see 1-1 time up with his combat shield and stim, so I would not be surprised to see him go for an attack. But BattleB's in a completely fine spot here. We see SKillous going for the fourth. Thermal Lance, +1. Quite an even game right now.
It really is. At the end of the day, you look at resources last. Yeah, minorly in SKillous' favor, or in BattleB's favor, but really not by all that much. So yeah, as you said, game even. SKillous fourth base on the way. I think it's interesting, actually, considering how aggressive BattleB was, that we're moving straight into Colossus behind this instead of maybe some sort of charge idea. But I guess on the flip side, BattleB was so aggressive that he traded his tech out. You're not really as afraid of a follow-up push that can hit you before those Colossus are truly on the field.
Yeah. And I really do like what BattleB did. Here he is going on the map right now with stim and combat shield. We'll see if he actually commits to this. And he is up 18 supply. A lot of that is because when you go Phoenix Colossus, you're never going to have big supply because you're making Phoenixes and Colossus. The Gateway Explosion is just coming now. Charge will not be done. So there are 3 Immortals of Colossus and some Phoenix. I think it'll be hard for BattleB to get some damage done. But he's going to try. He's going to poke at the front. He's going to see what he can get done. Stimming in right now. There's an exposed mineral line here. And he's going to find quite a bit of damage. Marines going, or probes going down. And he's just going to fall back. Really nicely done.
5 workers fall. SKillous, he postures back to the center when he sees that scan. He says, you know, maybe you got a multi-prong. I need to make sure that I'm safe. But that just opened up an opportunity. BattleB said, okay, well, I saw you pull out of my scan. Here, there we go. 5 workers snap those down. And BattleB finds himself, at this point, the difference of a couple workers, not incredibly significant, but briefly finds himself with a bit of a worker lead. And this is even as SKillous is on that 4th base. So economy going like gangbusters. Army supply, talked about 18. He's now up about 30. And as we move in with the ghosts on the fray, yeah, there are no Vikings, nothing to really deal with this Colossus, but EMPs, they make up for a lot.
Yeah, and some of the Phoenix are getting caught in the middle of the map by some of the Cyclones, a Widowmine, and BattleB's macro has been really, really good. He's been always up in supply, and he's kept that supply lead all through and out, and now he's going to get these tanks in a nice position. Now there are 3 Colossus, there are Charge, there are some Phoenix. He's coming in, he's stimming in, the tank's sieging up, and can BattleB find the damage right now? The Colossus, the Immortals, the Phoenix is lifting up, the stim is coming forward, but the Colossus are really nuking these Marines, and all the tanks have fallen, and I think SKillous got the fight he was looking for.
Oh, absolutely. The EMP hit the Phoenix after they had the lift in the air, so the tanks, they were still lifted. EMP does not force the Phoenix to drop its charge. So you have those tanks on the ground, you get the EMP on the Phoenix before they get their lifts. I think BattleB takes that fight. He has 1-1, he has a great concave, but without the tanks target firing the Colossus down, there was nothing to deal with them. And the micro of BattleB was not good enough to, dodge in with maybe a third of his army, get a Colossus down, back up, like do that Bjorn thing. Because if we want to talk about Terran players that just refuse to go Vikings, his name is Bjorn. He plays out of Korea, and he wins these games when he probably shouldn't. BattleB, not quite there. So at the end of the day, he's forced back. SKillous now with the supply lead. Now sitting enjoying that one base advantage. And I guess the only thing that he's maybe sad about is he's on, well, no, he actually is on double forge. His upgrade's slightly slower than BattleB, but for right now, they're tied up. It really is a good spot here for the Protoss player.
Yeah, I mean, I really like how both players have played. I think they've both played really well. The double robo coming in. Now we got the Zealots going into the main. There are no turrets. There's one turret, but SKillous is obviously going to avoid that. Zealots coming into the main. I would expect SKillous' army to push to the 4th base maybe at the same time. We're going to have a big warp into Zealots, and this is things can get very tough for BattleB. Zealots being warped in and units having to retreat home, and SKillous actually just taking a 5th right now. It's not going across the map, so BattleB will be able to clean this up, and when it's all said and done, it's not the end of the world. Some annoying harass, but BattleB holding on.
Yeah, you know, Mechanic, I love the whole, the most beautiful casters. Oh, yeah, you know, there's only one missile turret in the main base. The Warp Prism clearly is going to avoid that. Then it goes and needs maximum shots. Like, well, you know, possibly,
yeah.
Technically.
He knew. He was just doing it for style points, flying right over. Said, really, only one?
The one still in the main base.
In.
Actually getting the one set left. Actually doing a pretty nice job here. Knocked the tech lab down. Denies maybe some other tech later on. But I like what we see BattleB doing now. We're at the game state where he says, you know, I can't really break my opponent straight up. So he's got a big clump on the right, bigger clump on the left. He's looked to push in, maybe ripping SKillous apart. But Mr. Canning, please tell me, how good are disruptors defensively?
Not only are disruptors good, SKillous' entire army is very good right now. I mean, we got 2 Immortals, 3 Colossus. I mean, he's got a very, very, very powerful army right now. And I am definitely worried about BattleB's army. The thing is, BattleB knows the situation. He's just poking on all sides. He's going to try to find damage. But SKillous also knows that, and he's challenging this army on the right-hand side, knowing it's only groups split up everywhere. And both players doing a nice job at controlling, but SKillous is actually on the retreat. But BattleB gearing up on the left-hand side. Will SKillous realize most of the pressure is actually on the left-hand side right now?
Is it, though? He's going to knock down the rocks here in the left middle, and it looks like he's trying to set himself up for a bit of a concave or a bit of a flank here. Now, SKillous triggers that trap a little early, blinks on top. The Ghosts have to run, but now BattleB inside track. Disruptor falls. This is a free and open base, but not quite open enough. He's got to run away. A couple of Zealots will die on the backside, but really that's just minerals. And at this stage of the game, I'm canning, minerals, they're almost free for the Terran. Where they're sitting on 4 or 5 bases, all the orbitals they want. It's about the gas. Or actually for the Protoss too, but it really is all about that gas, that army complexity. The Zealots, they were born to die.
Yep, and we have SKillous now diving in. He thinks this army is pretty stimmed up. Both armies are pretty stimmed up, trying to find good damage. And we have skirmishers on both sides of the map. It's actually SKillous taking a fight at the 5th base. DT's Colossus, and he's going to find a pretty big win, killing some of the army, maybe even canceling this 5th base. And now SKillous gearing up his entire army in a bit of a reverse situation. He's found the powerhouse spot here, and BattleB pushing him back, but SKillous' main army is very close by.
Oh, it is, but it looks like for now, SKillous' army not quite where it needs to be to really shove this army back. So, scan there. It's not going to find the DTs. It's not going to find that the Nexus is on the way, but at least the Stalkers have fallen. And the only thing I'm worried about, really, for BattleB right now is, yes, he's got +2 air attack just about done. But he does not have a lot of anti-Colossus tech. We have 3 Colossus still on the field, and do we consider a Cyclone anti-Colossus? Like, there is nothing. There is really nothing to deal with them. Maybe theoretically this is going to be for Liberator play, but until you have range on those Liberators, even still, Colossus are your answer to Liberators. So, yeah, the ground army is decent for BattleB. He just cannot deal with these Warwalkers.
It's actually funny you mentioned this. Cyclone is still alive at this long in the game, but we have the big fight coming in. So many disruptors here as well. I don't know if BattleB has the army that can handle this. BattleB counterattacking on the left-hand side, though, finding pretty good damage. While SKillous at the front, really distracting him, and he's going to snipe a base. Not a bad win. Now, all BattleB wants to do is stall out. I would like to see him queue up some Liberators here. There's not a ton of anti-air. And BattleB getting some okay wins going in. There's nothing here to stop this army right now. He's going to get another Nexus, it looks like.
The army of SKillous now retreating back home, but SKillous, he's behind. He does not have first moves advantage, so as long as BattleB can keep stimming, he's just going to chase the army on the right. The army is chasing him, but it's just never going to catch him. Not really, not unless he stops for just about forever, but maybe DTs are going to be the answer there. Do we have a scan? Do we have anything just to detect these answers? No, so finally BattleB will lose the majority of this army as he picks up, runs away. Stalkers blink forward. Do we have a boost? It looks like we don't, not for the moment, but it will be fine. At the end of the day, BattleB, he stays alive here. He sees, importantly, the Nexus on the bottom right, and already there's a second army from BattleB on that 4th base position, but Disruptors for now, they will force it back. That's so many Disruptors.
It is so many disruptors, and I am worried like about BattleB being able to handle this. But he is trying to stim it. He's trying to snipe some, but he knows he can't right now. There's so many disruptors that they can shoot infinitely right now. So he has to be very, very careful, and he knows he really can't take a fight here. He kind of needs to go around, but is going to fight. Disruptor shots coming out, both missing. And the observers, the observers are all over the map. We have a big fight, a huge concave from BattleB. There are still a lot of disruptor shots left. The 3 Colossal, 3 Immortals. The army is really quite stim for BattleB. I'm pretty nervous for him right now. SKillous' army looks like it's still standing quite strong, and the disruptor shots just keeping his army safe. And here come the DTs.
Oh, the dankest of Templar. By the way, they did get the bottom right base. We missed that in all of the chaos. So, yes, BattleB killed a base of SKillous, but SKillous also killed a base of BattleB. And DT's on the right, army on the left here. BattleB wedged back into his own base. He's got some bases on the north side. Of course, he has this big counterattack on the other side. But they say never base trade a Terran. I don't know that I buy this right now, because SKillous, he has recall. His army is just so much more powerful than what BattleB has. And it's just going to take so long for BattleB to really do what he needs to do to equalize this out. First mover's advantage, I think, right now is more important.
Completely agree. It's all about the base trade is all about who gets there first, and SKillous already in the natural. But BattleB is trying to find damage, but his army looks like it's starting to dwindle across the map. And when this power is going down, it's all about SKillous' army in the main. And it's too strong. First game goes to SKillous, but man, I really liked how BattleB played it. You know, he's just trying to really pull the attention away. And for a moment there, I thought he was getting enough of a big win to maybe give him some space into that later game, or the real late game. But SKillous came home, handled that army, and he looked solid.
Oh, I got a little worried for SKillous at the very end. I think 7 disruptors were sniped right around by that task force of BattleB into SKillous' natural. So we're like, okay, well, you got 7 disruptors. Maybe that's going to be worth it. But
yeah, I mean, I thought it was really nicely played by both. I mean, because you think about how BattleB played that game, you know, a little bit of tricks. He went for that full wall, trying to keep SKillous on edge, not sure what he's doing. Then he used the medvac to get his army across the map, and he found so much damage with those 3 cyclones. But, you know, SKillous held on, he deflected, he took his time, and with styles like BattleB was playing there was no big Liberator switch, there was no huge switch. Now his army was still strong. There were a lot of Marauders at the end of the game, but all you got to do as SKillous is hold on, because he's just trying to pull you apart until you have not enough. But SKillous was able to maintain himself, and he was okay.
Yeah, worked out for him at the end. We got to see a spicy base trade. Always rather nice. Now, M. Canning, game 2 will be on Data C, or Undata C, because, you know, I love the map name. On a bigger map here, do you think, from what we've seen of BattleB and SKillous in game 1, is this something that favors BattleB because of maybe more multi-pronging opportunities, or is it something that favors SKillous just because maybe his macro is a bit better in these late game setups?
I think you said it perfectly. I think both are in, like, those are both the sweet spots for both of them, where I feel SKillous definitely has the edge in macro, but I think a lot of these maps, and this map specifically, you definitely can sneak by without being seen. I think a big key for BattleB is trying to get rid of those observers. I think SKillous' observer in that natural was there the entire game. Just a little bit too much vision, or too much information being given to SKillous. And if SKillous sees you coming, then he's going to be able to handle it. But BattleB still found some ways, but we'll see. We'll see.
All right. So, folks, we are in fact here in the upper right now in the blue. He's up 1 off some fantastic multi-prong. It's SKillous.
The bottom left, the up-and-comer, the youngster, the rising Terran hope. It is BattleB, opening double gas again. So he's got a plan, and he's sticking to it. He opened double gas game 1, he's opened double gas game 2, and we'll see if he goes for that. He's not going for the full wall, but he's opening double gas. I have seen quite a bit of, there's a couple of Reapers and a couple of Hellions off double gas opener. Seems really popular right now. We'll see if BattleB leans for something like that, but against Stargate play, it can be a little bit dangerous. So we'll see what SKillous' response here to seeing the double gases. I think it's now in his court to see how will he handle seeing all this information.
Yeah, you know, we have seen Bjorn, I think, is the really good example, because I've just cast a lot of Bjorn's games recently on like EPT Cups. We've been seeing him go for this double gas opener quite a bit, and behind that it's a 1.5 base timing. You talked about Hellions a little bit, but just this 1.5 base, it's like 8 Marines and medevac, a couple Vikings afterwards. Cyclones, kind of what we saw BattleB do in that first game, to be totally honest. More Vikings, less Liberators, but I don't know that you can get away with something that aggressive on Data C. The map is just so big.
Yeah. But maybe you play into the map being big where they think, well, they won't do it. And we do see him pulling out of gas, 2 and 3 on gas right now from BattleB. So this is going to be, okay, fast reactor factory. I am very interested to see how SKillous decides to handle this, because sometimes when you see double gas as a Protoss, you get in your mind, you say, okay, are they going to go burrowed mines? You know, is there going to be tricks? Am I going to need to get detection out? So sometimes I get a bit scared going Stargate, even though Stargate can be very good against cloaked mines. It can be very dangerous if you don't handle it right. So I am very curious to see what his tech decision is, because when you're on double gas, you know something is coming. They didn't open double gas to do nothing.
No, I mean, you say that. It's weird. Sometimes we will see Terrans just go double gas into nothing, because the thing they wanted was to force the Protoss to think that they were doing something. And then, you know, the whole, you don't know what I don't know. If I know that you know that 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 I'm doing something, I won't do the thing, and then I'll find a lead. Of course, not in this game. Widow mines are on the way. We're going to see drops, 3 Widow mines in the medevac probably. And SKillous, I mean, he showed us tremendous ability to deal with that last game, but of course, with the Twilight opener that he's in canning, it's not quite as simple. You do not have Blink by the time the first drop arrives.
No, and I do wonder if this is going to be an armory follow-up, try to get fast cloak on an opener like this, or if this is just normal Widow mine drop. It will be interesting to see where it goes. Killing the Reaper again is quite nice, because then you can just bring the Adepts across the map. You can keep shading. Now we'll see if this low ground Widow mine will find something. I don't think SKillous will fall into it, but I like the idea.
Yeah, certainly.
And, a Robo coming out, even if this is armory, it's going to be fine. Fast Attack Lab coming out. It just looks like a very normal opening.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be an armory. Normally when we see those cloaked Widow mine plays, it's off one base, or it's off a base in the high ground at the very least. So, ooh. Middle of the road. It's 1 Widow mine in this drop, but 6 Marines. This could be interesting.
Yeah, I actually really like this build. I think this build can always hit players unprepared. Now, him being on Blink and Stalkers, there is no battery, though. So, but it is unstim Marines. A lot of it's going to come down to the kiting, and will that Widow mine get the damage it needs? Sometimes the Widow mine works as like almost like a force field, where it's kind of pushing the army back, because you can't be into that Widow mine, and he is going to sneak in.
All right.
Skillous not see this right now.
So he's got the unload, 6 Marines and a Widow mine into the mineral line. There are 3 Stalkers here, yeah, but 1 probe goes down immediately. Probe's all clumped up, running away, and look at the target fire there. BattleB being very careful to make sure that he does not allow a single probe to just sit there and exist. Good Blink, though. Still, though, hot pickup doesn't matter. The medevac falls, fancy micro on both sides, but it is, at the end of the day, advantage SKillous.
Yeah, I hold my breath when I see that Blink, and I knew Blink was done. I thought maybe he'll get away with it, and then if some of the probes fell, he's losing his mining. I'm thinking, okay, BattleB's making something happen here. And the medvac goes down, and quite a nightmare for BattleB, because now that it's a similar situation to last game where your stim is really delayed. Everything is really, really delayed this game. Stim is just starting, and now these Stalkers are going to be very, very annoying to handle. And SKillous has all the room to breathe. He can probe up, chrono his probes, gets everything he wants. Fast Templar Archives even. And he's preparing for the next stage of this game. And we're going to see the Stalkers blink in, and we only have 1 tank right now. And things are going to get dicey. Going in for the stim already, and I don't think he's going to be able to save the stim.
I mean, SCVs get pulled here, but the stim getting very low. Actually, good hug, and it looks like he will be able to keep it alive. But it's one of those things where, like, yeah, you know, you're keeping stim alive, but if you lose your entire army, is it worth it? But not quite enough Stalkers to lose the entire army, or to kill the entire army, I guess. But yeah, you talk about that. That is, not only is it quick Templar Archives, sitting here on 4 gas, that is 6 gas. That is a very quick storm coming out from SKillous as well. So it's not even just the whole, you know, I have 12 gates, let me, you know, go charge that printer. There is, and, you know, maybe some Archons, there is significant tech behind this.
Yeah. I do love the Raven on this map. There's so much airspace. It's so annoying on this map to handle the Raven. But it can stay back there the entire game, throwing in auto turrets on both sides. And this is really what can help him come back into the game if he decides to go for a third. Now, it looks more like BattleB is going to go for a big push, which would go right into SKillous' hands, already on Storm, already on charge. And we have SKillous completely skipping forges right now. SKillous' main decision-making right now is he's saying, I'm just going to stop this big push. I know you don't have your third base yet. You're going to come at me with a big attack. And I would be surprised. I think SKillous is going to get his forges after the first push happens. He's just going to wait. Okay, now we do see the third CC come down. So he's not going completely all in. But, and we do have another drop coming in. And will he weave past the watchtower? Oh, God, is he going to get seen? I think he is going to get seen.
Oh, no, he's dodging. He's dodging. He's diving. He's dipping. You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge his Elnaga tower.
Okay, I mean, I love what he's doing here. Again, I'd love to see him try to clear up some of these observers. So much vision being given. pushing back the front. Oh, he's trying to surround the stalkers in the front. Really like this move from BattleB. I don't know if he'll be able to get maybe just one stalker. It was a nice move, though. It was a nice move.
Yeah, unfortunately scouted out. Yes, he dodged the Zilnaga, but there's an observer right in the middle of the map. So SKillous saw it. He knew just how far right he did have to go. But you talk about this push. I mean, this is a push from BattleB. Don't make no mistake about it. He's up about 22 army supply. This is still a decently timed third base. It's about a minute faster than your typical 3-1-1 third base timing. And the Raven, again, continues to find a little bit more value. It looks like auto turret shield battery for now doing a good job. Storm number 1 gets dropped, but it doesn't really land him canning. I mean, luckily for SKillous, he has approximately 20,000 more there, though.
BattleB must be looking at this and think, when have I ever seen this many High Templars at 7:45 in a game? I mean, it's just kind of funny to look at this many High Templar with Storm already. Now the Prism is coming out, and that's where the real danger comes when the Storm drops. And I like SKillous' army a lot, but I like BattleB just being patient, throwing down the Ghost Academy, saying, look, that's an army I can't handle right now. SKillous, of course, seeing the timing of this third base, feeling quite nice. I would expect the fourth base to come in. And, oh, well, not bad. Sees the Prism. And now it's low. And BattleB jumping in on this army. Trying to find the Archon. Would have been a nice little snipe. Love BattleB's activity, though. Feels like he's always on the map trying to find some damage. And we see an army on the south side. We see the triple med back on the north side. I also love SKillous' pylon placement, scouting on the edges, and BattleB making things happen here. He's at the fourth base, and he's going to go in the natural at the same time.
And it's so fun watching these younger Terrans. They're so fast. The storms get dropped on, but again, not incredible. Not until friendly fire on the Widowmines knock all the medevacs down, and now this army really should die. But you talk about dropping the natural. Defensive storms there as well. He's trying to dodge, but unfortunately, it's not just a storm, it's a hurricane on this army. There's nowhere to go. It's 150 miles wide. But even still, at the end of the day, he actually will do a great job there. Widowmines go off, 11 probes go down, and BattleB, he's solidly on his 3 bases. He's on 62 workers. He's actually bought himself into a really nice spot in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I love how he played that. He brought him to the natural, bring him going to the natural, going to the fourth base at the same time. He's always 2 plays at once. Here comes that Raven. Like I said, it always can be on the map. Oh, come on, what's that range? I didn't even think it could hit from up there. Finding just so annoying for SKillous, but there is a huge army on the doorstep here with a lot of Storm, but there are some Ghosts out. Really needs that EMP upgrade to finish. And then if he can just hold on, I really do like BattleB's spot.
You gotta be so careful with this War Prism as well. It's so low. Storms get dropped on the army, but actually they don't. They kind of whip. Tank shots go down. High Templar doing what they can. Look at that, the hot pickup on the army in the bottom side, looking for that MP, not able to find it. But now these SCVs under so much threat. Storms now getting dropped. Oh no, the SCVs run right on through it. But surprisingly, very few die, and I don't think there are many storms. I don't think there are any storms in this army anymore. It's just army versus army. This is a 1-1 stimmed bio versus no upgrades. For SKillous, yeah, he forced the pickup in the main base, and yeah, we have a warp in from a second War Prism into the main base here. So this is where things start to get rather complicated because, well, BattleB has to fight in 2 places at once, and that seems to be where he is struggling. We see the Command Center going back in. That is one that may just go down here with the Stalkers and the Archons. Yeah, third orbital now burning, but looks like it will stay alive for the moment. It's 13 SCVs falling the other side. SKillous, that first push, not all that great, but he put the Zealots in the main base, and suddenly it is very, very nice here for the Protoss player.
Yeah, his 1-1 is now finished. Now we're in the reverse situation where SKillous is up 11 workers. You got that fourth base online. It is nice that he saved this third base. Definitely looked like it was going down, and it was very, very close. Just a few more moments, and I think BattleB really would have crushed there. His EMP upgrade was almost done. The Archons, big storm trying to get down, and SKillous found just enough damage there. I completely agree. It was so close to being really winning for BattleB, and SKillous there was so many Archons, there was enough storm, and it was just enough for him to break that third, get enough damage done. Now SKillous is sitting in a pretty good spot, but it's not over by any means. The Ghosts are out, and Ghosts are amazing versus SKillous' entire army. It's just, can BattleB handle the fight as well as he needs to? As we see him pushing across the map, the Archons, the Storm, everything needs to be EMP. It's all going to come down to those EMPs right now, and I'd love to see him. Okay, he does kill the Observer. And the instant drop, I love his proactivity. I mean, it's just, it's so, oh, okay. Drop to the main. I love this drop.
Oh, these Widowmines, though. Friendly fire, they're actually not all that great, even still. BattleB taps out, doesn't think he can make that push happen or making that hold happen. So despite the game being pretty even into that point,